I'm sure you've heard of the Amazon FBA business model, and most of the times when someone mentions it, you think of people selling everyday products on Amazon and making thousands every month. There are countless stories and videos online about how Amazon FBA has changed people's life for better. They have financial freedom, time freedom, and generally they're wealthier than the average 9-to-5 worker. But what you don't see is how Amazon FBA can completely ruin your life. Let's take two different people for an example. One is Tom and the other one is David. Tom is a 30-year-old. He works in IT, decent job, decent pay, but he's tired. Tired of the routine, tired of the paycheck that vanishes as soon as bills hit. Tired of feeling like he's not building anything that actually belongs to him. He's married, rents a small flat with his wife, and deep down he wants more. One night after work, he's scrolling through TikTok and sees a video of someone saying, I started Amazon FBA wholesale with £500 and now I'm making £10,000 a month. He then watches another one, then another, and he starts thinking, why not me? Tom spends the next few weeks obsessed. He learns how Amazon FBA wholesale works, buying branded products in bulk from suppliers, sending them to Amazon, and letting Amazon do the rest. He signs up for Seller Central. He spends hours researching suppliers, analyzing bestseller rank, and looking for products with 30% ROI or more. He finally finds something that looks good, a household product selling consistently on Amazon. Tom uses his savings, about £700, to place his first order. He prints labels, ships the boxes, and waits for the product to go live. The first few days, he checks his phones every hour, refreshing Seller Central, waiting for that first sale. Then it happens. One sale, then another, then three. He is absolutely buzzing. He feels like his life is about to change. But a week after, the sales slow down, then stop. He tries lowering the price, no luck. He raises it, still nothing. He spends money on sponsored product ads, hoping you will bring traffic, but the money is going faster than the sales. 1 month after, his £700 is gone. He's staring at his laptop wondering, how do so many people online make it look so easy? He feels stupid, he feels embarrassed, and worst of all, he feels lost. So Tom quits. He deletes his FBA app and moves on. Now we're going to come back to Tom, but let's move on to David. David is in a very similar situation as Tom. He's 32, works a similar 9-to-5, married, same goals, just wants a little more money, a little more freedom. He finds Amazon FBA wholesale the same way. Late night scrolling, watching people on YouTube, he learns the same things, takes the same courses, even finds the same type of products. He starts small, £500 worth of stock, and just like Tom, he fails. His first few weeks were painful. His products didn't move, his ads burned more money, and starts questioning everything. But here's where David's story changes. He doesn't quit. He digs deeper. He studies what went wrong, checks the listing, checks the sellers that are actually winning the buy box, looks at who the suppliers are, and compares pricing and delivery times. He starts reaching out to new suppliers, not random websites, but verified distributors. He learns how to ask for price lists and negotiate, how to spot listings that have steady sales instead of chasing trends. It takes him a few months, but he finally finds a supplier with good margins and consistent stock. He then lists his products again, and this time the sales come in. £100 profit, then 300, then 1,000. Every pound he earns, he reinvests. He starts building systems, spreadsheets, supplier lists, tracking tools. He gets better at understanding what Amazon wants, and after 6 months, he's making around £3,000 profit a month. Still working his job, but now with a new sense of control. He's not rich, but he's freeing himself one order at a time. Those are the two scenarios in the stories of Tom versus David. Now, looking at these two examples, you're probably going to say that Tom is the one that ruined his life. And in that case, you'd be wrong. David is now actually the one who has his life ruined, and here's why. Let's go back to the aftermath of Tom. See, Tom tried. He blew his savings and ultimately failed. But assuming Tom completely gives up on trying to start a business of his own, he goes back to a normal steady path. Maybe he applies for a promotion as 9-to-5, maybe he learns a trade skill, he gets back into a routine, the one that everyone around him calls secure. Tom's now placed right where the system wants him to be, inside the plan that's been written for most people since birth. Go to school, get a job, pay bills, retire at 65. He's now a gear in the machine. And don't get me wrong, that's not a bad thing. Tom has a steady job, he can pay his rent, he can take care of his family, and he can live a simple, modest life. In the eyes of society, Tom is exactly where he needs to be. He's safe, he's stable, he's doing what's expected of him. So no, Tom's life isn't ruined. Now let's catch up with David. David went on to continue running his Amazon wholesale business, and within few months, he was making 10, 15, 20,000 pounds every single month. He started realizing that he could outsource a lot of the repetitive work, the packaging, the spreadsheets, the supplier outreach. So he hired virtual assistants, trained them, and bought back his time. Now with his extra hours, David started exploring new opportunities. He realized he's developed a real skill: finding winning suppliers, finding winning products, negotiating supplier deals, and managing profitable systems. He took that high-income skill and built something new, a small consulting service where he helps other sellers set up their wholesale business the right way. He created a portfolio showing his results, made a few case studies, and started reaching out to small sellers who need help scaling. Before long, that alone was bringing in another few tens of thousands of pounds every single month. David then did what every smart entrepreneur does. He systemized it. He hired a small team, trained them to follow his exact process, and bought back even more time. David had done it. He now had freedom, money, and time. But David is ruined. Now you're probably thinking, how on earth is David ruined? But David is ruined in the eyes of the system. He's the outcast. He's the man who broke free of the structure that was designed to keep him trapped. He escaped the path that leads most people from paycheck to paycheck. He's seen behind the curtains. He knows he never needs to ask permission again to live the life he wants. You see, once you get real taste of success, of building something with your own hands, you become unemployable. You realize what your time is worth. You realize that the ceiling you thought existed doesn't. Even if every one of David's business vanished tomorrow, he would never trade an hour of his time for a set wage again, because he knows something most people don't: that freedom isn't just money. It's about knowing you can rebuild from nothing. David knows what it takes to succeed: hard work, consistency, resilience. And because of that, he's free. But in the eyes of the system, in the eyes of the education, corporation, and society, David is ruined. And look, I know this is a made-up story, but in reality, I'm David. I have been too far removed from the corporate world to ever go back. No matter what happens to my businesses, I will never again be able to think the way I used to. And honestly, that's one of the most freeing feeling in the world. So if you're watching this and you're in your 20s or 30s and you feel lost or stuck, just remember this: it's okay to fail. It's okay to try something that doesn't work the first time, but don't quit just because it got hard. Because once you get even a small taste of what's possible, you will never see the world the same way again. Now, if you want to live life like Tom, then after watching this video, you have to do absolutely nothing. But if you want to be David and you want to start your own online business and make an income alongside your job, then go check out this full tutorial where I've showed you how you can start your own Amazon FBA wholesale business from scratch.